What the heck, Mister Alex Sotos, with the thick boy raid of 240. Welcome, guys, and everyone else as well. Welcome to Noli Friends. I am your host, Noli Visuals, with Mister TimKeyLess with me today. Hello, Mister Tim.
Sir Manoli visuals.
How are you doing, guys? For those of you who don't know, my name is Manoli. I am a fellow keyboard streamer, content creator, and today we're doing Noli and Friends, a podcast I started a few weeks ago, where every Tuesday I bring on a different creative, whether it be keyboards or not. And I'm sure we'll talk about keyboards, but I want to get people on here to talk about like the creative process, life, things a little more outside the keyboard realm than we're used to, and kind of broaden our horizons, because I feel like everyone in the keyboard hobby especially has hobbies outside of it, and um, Tim included. I know Tim, as well as keyboards, is a big coffee connoisseur of sorts, from what I've heard, rumors. Guys, thank you for the follow as well, and Mr. Spence, thank you for subbing. But yeah, Tim, welcome.
Thanks for having me on.
Buddy, I'm happy to have you on here. Well, first, to start us off, Tim, do you mind giving us a little intro to yourself? What you believe you're about?
Um, Hi, I'm one of the few DGen keyboard streamers here on Twitch. um, yeah, I mean, I don't think there's really much to say about me. I'm scuffed and I build keyboards, and I'm DGen. So
I feel like scuffing keyboard streamers just goes hand in hand for the most part. At least,
I,
but
I've
maybe
heard
between DGen ones, between you,
I've
me, and
heard that if you're
Kimchi.
not scuffed, then you're not a keyboard streamer.
I don't
It's
think
it's almost a requirement.
I feel like it's a rite of passage to at least have like 1 to 38 scuff streams.
I agree.
Oh my, scuff DGen streamers make the hobby what it is. Kimchi's gonna come through here and we're gonna have a real problem on our hands.
Oh, 100%.
But Tim, yeah, welcome. Happy to have you here. Happy to get you on here for the. It feels right to get you on, at least in my time, for DGen hours. I usually don't
Oh, you
stream.
can
This is
get
one of
me
the later
on.
streams. Oh yeah. Hello, Mr. Gerald Chuby. You get me on. Cat check. Cat's good. Cat's vibing. Um, but Tim, I guess the same question I ask everyone who gets on here. What got you started? Because I feel like keyboards was definitely way, but like what kind of got you interested in, I guess, being more than just like a keyboard builder, like being in more in the creative sense.
Honestly, I have no clue. Um, when I started out in the hobby, I was mainly just researching, right? Like most people do. I spent 3 months of my life looking up what the hell a linear, a tactile, and a clicky is, and then learning about all these different keycap profiles, different designs. Um, and then obviously I got turned on to Teha Type's Fiel typing video, and that kind of got me started down the rabbit hole. I couldn't stop watching these type tests. I wanted that sound in my going keyboard. Little did I know that it would cost me my wallet and my very brightly shining future. Um, but yeah, my first major keyboard purchase was 4 months into the hobby, where I spent around 1,500 on just parts and equipments. And uh, embarrassingly enough, my first purchase was actually it was a DIY keyboard kit from One Up Keyboards. And I spent 1,500 on all these switches and all these tools to fix up my keyboard with, and I was so excited because I love tinkering with things. Before keyboards, I was doing PC builds for clients, um, and since then I've spent a good amount of money on keyboards, as most streamers do on the
Would you
platform.
put your fucking
And
name in the gabagool of fire?
yeah,
Thank you for
I
subbing, TV.
can't get enough. I want to touch more plastic and aluminum and acrylic
All the
and
goods
wood.
and wood. Get all the goods. I feel like at least you and me definitely got that similar start. Taya's definitely a reason I got into. I think I saw Because when I got my PC at first, I think I got like a Red Dragon mechanical keyboard. It was like a $30 mechanical keyboard. Just because I
I
didn't know the
actually got the
difference.
same one.
It's
I think I got
great.
the same one. Yeah, it
Did,
was a
did yours have blues?
TKL.
Did yours have blues?
Yes, it got the Otomu blues.
I did the 60. Did I do the six? No, I had arrow keys. Maybe it was a TKL. I think it was like a very small TKL though.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I
very
remember.
small bezels or
I had
edges.
I had the same one. Um,
Yeah.
that's so funny. Yeah, that was
Also,
my
just
first.
real quick, I'm gonna be eating noodles real quick, so I hope you guys don't mind.
We do love nudes
Yeah.
here. We're a big fan of
Mhm.
nudes here. But I definitely think I had a similar start. I think I saw, and I feel like a lot of people who got into the hobby in the last year, saw the Tfue video. Um,
Oh yeah, that goes without saying.
like
100%.
me, I think I like saw because I've always been
Giuseppe
interested in the
Strombo,
hobby.
would you put your
Hey
fucking
Tizzy,
name
thank you
in
so.
the
Did someone
gabagool
say
file?
nudes? Thank you so much for subbing. I appreciate it. The way he eats the God, yes, the way he eats those nudes for Mr. Spence Fence. Um, but I definitely think like I said, like I know a lot of people did. I had probably been following like RMK since probably like my freshman year of college, so roughly like 8 years ago. But once I figured out customs, like really like dove into, it, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll make one. And then I realized how expensive it is, especially for a very broke college student that was just out of the picture. And then quarantine hit like a brick wall, and everyone picked up a new hobby. Could have learned something practical, like like sewing. Could have learned how to cook properly, like more than like 3 meals. But instead, I learned how to solder PCBs and become unhealthily obsessed with metal aluminum blocks.
I think this is a perfect representation. You see what I chose instead? Keyboards. Instead of cooking. I could have been living better.
These are my favorite two streamers discovered because they're playing Valorant. Did Spence find you on a Valorant stream too?
Mm-hmm.
I think Spence found me from TikTok and everything was just scuffed from the get go. I think he helped me because I was having stream issues, and that's how he like slowly but surely became a mod. I remember he was just playing Valorant games with us, and I'm like, I need help, please. I don't know what I'm doing. Drawn in by the deep thoughts, but stayed in for the deep talk. Yes, Mr. Snoop Dogg. But I guess the next, just going on next, I feel like you specifically, you and maybe a few other people. I know I got more into coffee in this last year, but you're on the point of making your own coffee, right?
More or less. I mean, there's this saying, coffee's made three times. Once while it's being grown, once while it's roasted, and once while it's actually prepared to be consumed. Um, I'm in the process of starting a company with my girlfriend. We want a shop. That's our end goal. My girlfriend and I, we just want to run a small kiosk and just make coffee, make tea. Um, this is the simple life. We really crave that. We don't want anyone to be our boss. We want to run the shop ourselves, etc., etc. And we just happen to know a lot about coffee and tea together.
That's really nice. No, you don't. So you don't want like a full blown like cafe or anything. You want more of like just like a small stop.
Yeah, it definitely. I'm trying to I'm trying to think of a shop that kind of reflects exactly that. Um, yeah, there aren't too many that are known worldwide, and for good reason, obviously, because they're small shops. But yeah, it's just a small, maybe like 1,000 square foot area where we just have a coffee bar. We have a few tables, and we just have all the machines, and we're just making coffee all day.
I'm gonna come write my screenplay there. It sounds like a nice time.
Yeah. I'll have a corner dedicated for in your honor. The visuals corner or the cat corner.
Just like a
What do you
plaque,
want?
just a plaque of cat, just a plaque of my calves. I used to be a
I'll
barista.
put a picture of your calves in a frame for sure.
I'd be honored. I used to be a barista at a small coffee shop. It was a great gig. I loved it. Yeah, I feel like I always like in my head. I worked in restaurants for at least a lot of college and a little bit after. And every time I walk into a coffee shop in my head, I was like, I should have come here instead. I should have worked in a coffee shop. But I didn't like. I feel like coffee. I didn't start enjoying it really till about like 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, when I had to start getting up a little earlier than I was used to for work. And I
Right.
realized I was nodding off. I'm like, I gotta force myself to drink something. So I ended up just like before that it was just like all nighters for college. Coffee was never a big thing for me. And
I
I've
popped the caffeine pills and the four loco or not four locos, the 5 hour energy,
we could if
crank
you
all
really want
them
to get
in.
crazy, you could get a Four Logo for a nice all nighter at the library. If you want to get crazy, but I definitely yeah, I feel like at least for me it started pretty heavily, and in quarantine actually I started drinking every single day, and I like I feel like I'm part of the meme where it's like I need my coffee.
Yeah, it's a fact of life. Once you start depending on it, you're part of the meme. Once you have that inkling where you're like, damn, you know
Oh,
what would be good right now, right after I wake up, a cup of coffee. You're
it's
part of the meme.
I realize it's a problem, and I know this goes for some people, but especially with like at least like Mediterranean families, like Greek families, we'll be eating like once you finish dinner, it's like oh, who wants coffee at like 10 p.m. It's brutal
I
because it's like I do, but also I don't want to be up till 4 a.m.
Right. I noticed that's or not I noticed, but I found out that that's part of the culture in a lot of European and around the surrounding countries, that area where after every meal, especially in like Germany, France, Italy, they have like an espresso after every meal.
Really,
Yeah,
I
it's common and it's etiquette to offer coffee after every meal if you have guests over.
I don't think I've ever had guests over like growing up. Like I don't think my mom has never not asked. Like at least like it could be middle of the day, it could be like 11 o'clock at night. They'll be like, "Who wants coffee?" And there's usually at least 3 to 4 people, including myself now, in that group of people. It's like, yeah, I'll take a coffee. I'll take a coffee. Like an after meal drink. Is it a
It's
it's a digestive, isn't it? I guess yeah.
it's
Actually, that would make
yeah,
sense.
it's a very nice digestive and it keeps the food coma away. Yeah.
I can definitely see that. Prevents you from going into food coma. Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah,
Well, I like
it
coffee, but
definitely helps.
I like coffee, but I prefer tea. So my what I had to start doing was, if it was after 4 p.m., I usually do tea, but I'll try to avoid like green teas, like caffeinated ones. Um,
Right.
but anything before 4, I feel like is free game.
Yeah. For me, it's a little later because I'm a fiend. But the coffee and tea, they have different types of caffeine. I'm pretty sure you've heard the saying tea has good caffeine and coffee has bad caffeine. It's because coffee inhibits your receptors in your brain for melatonin. I think that's the chemical, the sleepy chemical. Whatever it is, it inhibits it. So you have a buildup of melatonin in your brain. So when the caffeine um, fizzles out, all that melatonin gets taken into your body. That's why you have that crash. Um, for tea, however, it actually slows down the production of melatonin. That's why tea is good caffeine as opposed to coffee.
Hey, I learned. I
The
actually
more
didn't
you
know
know.
that.
Yeah.
Learning a lot here. Learning a lot.
um,
Learning a lot here. It's just a coffee masterclass with Mr. Tim
I just
Keyless.
I know too much about things that people don't care about, and that's my whole life, right? That's us in keyboards. That's I'm pretty sure
I
you're
feel like
well
it's any
versed in things
hobby.
that people don't care about, but you just happen to know a shit ton about it. That's my whole
Gorilla,
life.
Listen, man, I'll talk your ear off about gorillas lore from this virtual. I got you. I feel like at least yours is like applicable. You want to start a cafe? What the hell am I gonna do with that backlog of information that doesn't even matter?
A historian. You could be a historian.
Can I come up here? Um, what guy like this? This might be a weird like. I feel like with like other things like I asked you about her like design and then been with photography, but did you guys have like a love for like have you been drinking coffee like since like high school and you're just it just became like an absolute obsession, or is there like a specific reason like you seem to have gotten so into like coffees and teas, and obviously now it sounds like you want to be opening up your own shop at some point.
So the way I got into coffee was actually my first job, and a lot of you are gonna write, but my first job was at Starbucks. Um, I actually so really funny story. My girlfriend's mom is a Starbucks manager, and the reason why I got the job was because of her. So we weren't dating at the time. I had no idea who she was. My parents and her parents were friends, and as a favor, my girlfriend's mom, I'm not going to expose her name, but she took me on at a hiring fair, and she said, "Hey, you're going to work at this store, not mine, but It'll be cool. She's cool, and this and that. My old manager, Cindy. I was with Starbucks for 2.5 years,
Were you drinking like
and
were you like already like a regular coffee drinker at that point?
not necessarily. My perception of coffee was, oh, that sweet shit that I can go to Starbucks and get. Get my
Yeah.
frappuccino, get my dessert coffee, my coffee flavored milk. It was that kind of commodity for me. But as I kept working there, my friends opened up a shop, and they were looking for baristas, and this was strictly volunteer work, but they were trained by some specialty coffee shops down in my area, which is LA. And so they took me on as a volunteer, and they showed me all the things about coffee. Um, while I was still working at Starbucks. So as I'm working with my friends, I'm getting all this specialty coffee knowledge, which is not applicable to Starbucks. And obviously, I preferred the specialty coffee knowledge. So I put in my 2 weeks. I got hired at a different shop as a barista. Worked my way up to assistant manager. From there, I hopped around a lot of different stores and managed a bunch. I consulted a lot around the LA area, and yeah. The way I met my girlfriend, this is funny because the story always goes hands in hand, right? It's like, oh, how did you get into coffee, or like this and that, and then somehow the conversation always gets led to that. So I just pair the two together all the time. Um, the first job I took after Starbucks, I was working there, and the head roaster at the place was a employee of my girlfriend's mom. And so she asked him for a favor and asked him to hire her daughter. And that's how we met. I did not make the connection. And we started talking, we started going on dates. Our first dinner together was during Christmas. Or not, well, first dinner with the family was during Christmas, right? And I walk in through the front door. I remember this so vividly. I take my shoes off. I look around. I'm like, oh, this is a nice place. And I look over down the hall at the dining room, and I see her mom there. I was like, uh, what are you doing here? And she looks at me with the same face. She's like, what the hell are you doing here? And we both look at my girlfriend, and we're just like, no. And it was honestly one of the weirder like meals that I've ever had with any girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, right? So we sit down and we're talking. Her mom is questioning me. It's like an interrogation. Her dad is like
Naturally.
trying to be chill because she's railing in on me, and he has to play good cop. So he's like, the relationship is anamorphous. They're kind of figuring out what the hell they're gonna be. And the mom's like, what are you doing? Do you knock her up or this and that? Blah blah blah. Blah. Where have you gone? And just berating me with all these questions. And then they get a call middle of dinner from her older sister, who I found out was going into labor while we're
Oh.
having dinner. so the mom nonchalantly picks up the phone. It's like, oh, you're going into labor. Okay, we'll be over. Puts the phone away, and I'm like, hey, like that sounds kind of urgent. Shouldn't you go? And she's like, oh, she'll be fine. It'll be another 30 minutes. I was like, yeah, but I want you to leave, or
She has
I
no,
want
no,
to
that
leave too.
she had priority. She knew she had a priority straight up, at least to her sense.
So after dinner, we're chilling around. The dad grabs the guitar and just, is doing whatever. The mom's still questioning me, interrogating me. And I'm sitting there like, damn, she needs to leave. They all need to leave and go to the sister. I'm awkward as fuck. I want to leave. I don't like the situation. And eventually we all left. I went home. They went to the daughter's place or the hospital. And
Didn't go to the hospital with him. That would have been
I
a
did
big move.
not.
That would have been a big move.
It would, yeah, definitely. But yeah, that Christmas marks the first time I ever had dinner with her whole family, and it was really awkward.
Was it on Christmas or was it like
It was Christmas Eve.
okay? Oh
Yeah.
my god, that's insane. I
Was,
guess she
yeah.
never. I guess did she not? Did the mom just not even recognize your name after so long, or probably just didn't put two and two together?
Yeah.
That's funny
It's
though.
just, yeah, it was hilarious. So yeah, what's funny is that her family actually came over for lunch one time at the place that I worked at. Well, after she got hired, right? And there's pictures of me working the bar while they're eating food at the table. And so before we even got into a relationship, they have pictures of us just like around. that always blows my mind. Just seeing myself in these pictures before everything happened and before we got together. So yeah, that was 6 years ago now.
There was like
And the rest is history.
That's crazy. That's an incredible story. First off, there's like an entire subreddit I feel like dedicated like that specific like phenomenon, like couples who are in each other's photos like way before they even knew each other. I'm like I don't know what it's called, but there's a name for it.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen posts in there. Oh my gosh, there's some where it's like, oh yeah, like my current wife and I, we actually were at the Eiffel Tower on this day and this time at this year, and I'm in the background of her picture posing with the Eiffel Tower, and that always blows my fucking mind. I don't. Oh my gosh.
I ended up dating my cousin's subreddit. I think you're on the wrong subreddit. You're on the wrong sub. That is insane though. But just like I guess I kind of go back on the point before. It's like talking about like how you think it's like useless knowledge, but like that is the reason I wanted to like have people like you on here and like been in Europe for as like so far like it is interesting to hear like I guess like perspectives, and I find it interesting to learn about other people's interests outside of just keyboards, because I mean let's be real, we've all talked about keyboards with each other on and off stream for God knows how many days at this point. Forget hours, it's accumulated days I'm sure now.
Oh yeah. Keyboards is definitely a starting point. It's not the finishing point.
This is our coming together moment. We found a group of weirdos who happen to all have a lot in common in the weirdest way. Oh my!
Rectangles and squares.
It's a lot of squares. Unless you're buying an Arctangent Designo too, then you don't get a square. Hello, Mr. Sam Packpack, and also thank you for the follow, Nico. But I don't see like now. See, this is interesting because for the first two, I feel like there's definitely, there's always answers to this. But are there any like people in the coffee community, coffee world that like you take as like inspiration, or like companies that you, I guess like sort of like take like you back up in that sense?
Oh yeah, for sure. There's a lot, and the coffee community is so much like the keyboard community or any small hobby. When there's someone succeeding in that community, everyone backs them up. Everyone shills them. Everyone, they jerk off to them. Some inspirations of mine are, and these are all going to be foreign names, except to like Alres because he's heavily into coffee. But Percy, I forget his last name, Percy, but he's a barista trainer. He's a entrepreneur. He started multiple shops, and I've come to every opening of his, and my God, he's phenomenal. But he's trained up I think 2017's barista world champion. His name is Charles Lubinski, or was it earlier? He's my inspiration. Andrew from Mad Lab. I've known him. I met him through one of my projects, and we haven't stopped talking since. He's a fantastic guy. He started up his own company. He started out as a roastery, and now he has a shop on Sunset, and he ships beans all over the world. And I think, without a doubt, he has the best coffee in LA.
I'll definitely have to give that a shout out there.
Yeah,
especially
and
now.
Actually, it's strange that I'm saying this, but a little embarrassing too because I haven't revealed it. But Alres is actually an inspiration of mine too. He works at Blue Bottle, and he's very much a go-getter. He doesn't stop. Like, you pitch an idea to him and he will take it to the next mile. And like half of my subathon is funded by Alres. He got me so much shit to give away. He has not stopped talking about me to his supervisors. He's not just a barista at Blue Bottle. He's higher up, so he can make a few decisions. But because of him, a lot of things happen, and I'm just so taken aback by it. Also, just in shock and in awe of what's happened because of Alres and because of me meeting him through keyboards. Those are just a few of my inspirations.
That's awesome. Can we also get a shout out for Alres since he's in here?
Yeah,
I feel like this is a warranted shout out. But no, that's incredible. I want to say I've talked with Mad Labs in your Discord. I think maybe once or twice. I think we've spoken. That's incredible though. Someone give Alres a damn award for real. for check out Blue Bottle Mad Labs Coffee. It is like interesting because I'm very, at least like personally, very new to like coffee. Like I pretty much when I moved back to because I was back home in Maryland for I'd say the eight from like March through October because of quarantine. Um, and I like pretty much the second I got back here, I ordered all this stuff to start learning pour over. I ordered a Chemex, French press. I just wanted to start learning how to make coffee. The only coffee I was like regularly making myself are Greek frappes, which are like that like TikTok coffee, the foamed up,
Uh-huh.
sort of instant coffee is what I was kind of like all I was making. But then just like learning about getting your own bean. I think I bought from I can't remember what it's called. There's a Baltimore roastery, but I bought like the key. I got in the coffee cult when the drop
Hmm.
happened.
Hmm.
And then I'm just like
Fantastic
learning
coffee,
about.
by the way.
It is very good. But I'm
Hmm.
learning about like different like it's not just coffee beans. Like there's different like roasts. Like if it's like how dark it is, how mild it is.
Let me blow your mind. That's a small subset of things that can change the flavor too. So, if I were to make parallels with coffee, it would be to apples. How many different apples can you name? I mean,
I think like
everyone
literally
knows that
like
everyone knows there's a variety of apples, right? Green apple, red apple, Fuji apples.
I'm listening.
I don't know, whatever. There's a a lot of different types of apples, right? In the same way, coffee has a lot of different species of plants, and they all take in nutrients from the ground differently. And depending on what elevation they're grown at, what where they are on the longitude of the globe, how close they are to the equator, what the climate's like, that all affects the flavor, along with like post processing methods, how the pit of the cherry is extracted. Um, yeah, all of those things change the flavor of coffee. Yeah,
that's
it's a whole thing.
this like scares me because I'm interested in it, but I'm like, do I have the brain capacity for an entirely new hobby to just absolutely overtake the one wrinkle I have going around my brain?
There's to give you some perspective, the 6 years that I've been in coffee, okay, yeah, the 6 years that I've been in specialty coffee, I accrued a lot of knowledge to conduct classes for other shops and train baristas, or just give talks and like teach people how coffee is grown. I still don't know as much as I would like to know about coffee, and I'm teaching people about this, but then it's like there's a whole other like facet of coffee that I want to know about that I have yet to get to, and it's terrifying.
Is it did you like realize like when you first started Starbucks that this would become such like a major part of your life, or did you think it was just going to be just a college job or a high school gig?
Just like keyboards, I thought I was gonna get my one and done. Little did I
Everyone,
fucking
everyone.
know. Little did I fucking know. Yeah, dude, it became a lifestyle. Like, at one point, I was drinking around 10 pulls of espresso. Sorry. So every pull, right, is a double shot. So I'll have around 20 shots of espresso throughout the day on my shift, right? So it's not over a span of 24 hours. It's a span of 6, 8 hours. I'll have around 10 pulls of espresso. With that, I'll be drinking cold brew. I'll be drinking brewed coffee. I'll be trying things here and there. I'll be trying different coffees. Like I'll try the bean, see what it tastes best in from whatever brewing method. Um, yeah, I was a fiend. It's disgusting.
I it's people like you that I realize that the human body what they can truly undertake. There was a guy in college, or not yeah, in college, at this restaurant I worked at. It's so bad I don't even remember his name, but I just remember he drank like 3 Red Bulls a day, and I just sat there thinking, I'm like, how he's been doing this for like years. Like this isn't like he's a couple years older than me. This isn't like a new thing he picked up. Like years he's been like housing Red Bulls. And I'm like, brother, how you doing? Like how are you? Like I hear stuff like that, like 20 pools of espresso. I would do a double espresso, um, when I first started at Major League Baseball, like on like my hard days, like, and I'm like, oh, I'm tired today. The fact that you're just pulling 20 along with other coffee is miraculous.
Yeah. So my usual shift, this is how it would go. So in the morning, when I open up, because I was always the opener, you would dial in, right? You prep the shop for opening. You put all the furniture down. You put out all the baked goods and make sure the fridge is well stocked up front for customers, and then you dial in the espresso, right? So dialing in basically means you have to tune the espresso to a flavor at which it tastes best. So sometimes that process takes a long time, but as you go through it a lot, the process gets quicker and you drink less coffee. Um, I was not so quick to learn that, so I ended up drinking a lot. But my usual routine was drink at least 2 or 3 cups of espresso in the morning. So I'll pull a shot, I'll taste it, and then I'll change the grind size. I'll pull it, I'll change the water temp, pull it, change the dosage, do all the stuff, and then drink that. Throughout the shift, I'll maybe drink a cup and then go on my 10-minute break, get a cold brew, get a cigarette, go outside, chill, drink, smoke, come back in, make sure the espresso's okay again. So I have another pull. Every hour, you have to pull
It's,
an
a,
espresso just to
it's
make sure that
incredible.
it,
It's
it
incredible. I'm
tastes
like,
consistent.
this is the way.
Yeah, and then for my lunch, my 30 minutes, I'll pull another espresso. I'll get another cold brew. I'll smoke more cigarettes. I'll probably eat like half a sandwich. Get back to work, taste the espresso. When I get off, have another cold brew. Done.
Ven- Especially after hearing that, Venom had a good question I want to point out. It's like, did you have any health consequences of that? Did you ever end up like backing off, or is that do you still like probably drink that much caffeine to this day?
I don't drink as much caffeine to this day. I'm not in the same profession. I work in IT now, but I've weaned off a lot. I get by with I feel normal at 2 cups of coffee or three. Um, I'll feel very caffeinated at around like 6 cups, like of just like brewed black coffee. Um, but yeah, it's it's weird. I did have anxiety before I went to sleep, so it would keep me from sleeping a lot. And the anxiety stems from being late to work and not opening the shop, and then the boss getting mad at me.
So it's just a
It's like,
vicious
oh,
cycle then.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like you work, and then you go do your own personal shit, and then you go to sleep, and then you wake up early to prep. You have to prepare for the shift for the night before, because when you open a coffee shop, obviously it's one of the first places open, right? So I get in at like 5 a.m. and then I'll prep the shop and I'll get shit done. So even sleeping at 12 was
It's a late night.
yeah, yeah. Usually I would sleep at like 10. 10 would be an okay night, and then I would get up at like 3:30, take 30 minutes to get ready, and then I would drive an hour to get to work, and then work.
Oh, so that's a hike. So it was a hike for you to get to the shop in the first place too.
Oh yeah, yeah. So for me,
Which is always I feel like that's just taxing on its. My before I moved to New York, my commute was like an hour and 15 each way. So
yeah,
that's but
yeah,
it was not at 4 a.m. So I commend you for that alone.
yeah. So like I got to the point where some nights I would actually drive to my workplace. I would shower and like get ready for work at 12, drive over, sleep in my car until 5, or like before the shift, and then get in and open the shop.
It's a
So it
big
got to
brain
that
move.
point.
It's a big brain
Yeah.
move.
So I don't have to deal with traffic. I don't have to deal with anything. Just go there, wake up, chew a gum, and then fucking
Get to
work.
it. Get to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, did the anxiety around work go away with a change in careers? And thanks for the venom.
Not really. I still have the same anxiety because it's not coffee that I'm serving at this point. It's computers that I'm fixing. Um, I can't I don't want to disclose too much, obviously, but
Yeah, feel
the
free to
idea
say.
of
Don't feel free to if there's anything you want to talk about. You're totally fine as well.
yeah, thank you. Um, but yeah, the idea that I'm a cog in a big machine and that I'm replaceable is anxiety. It gives me enough anxiety to just get my ass up in the morning and go get my bread. So yeah, the anxiety never leaves. It did when I was working from home. And that was it was a very fun year because I would literally sometimes I would wake up a minute before my shift started. Sometimes I would wake up 15 minutes after my shift started. And don't tell my boss. Well, you guys can't, but sometimes I would schedule an hour or 2 hour meetings right at 8. The meeting would be by myself, obviously, and I would sleep through and wake up at 10.
That's so smart. Wow, look at that's big brain. I definitely got very comfortable with like I think right before COVID I got my sleep schedule like on track. I'm like, okay, I'm going to bed at this time, I'm waking up at this time. I am like getting on my commute on time. And then COVID hit, I'm home and I'm like, oh, I can start my day whenever because for me it was just video editing projects where as long as it's in by 5, you're good. And so I'm like, oh,
Right.
can start this at noon. So I got way too comfortable, and I'm about to personally be having that rude awakening. I believe you started going back in the office too. You told me so. The rude awakening is about 3 weeks away from me. I'm not excited about it one bit.
Pro tip: start waking up daily as if you were going to go into the office. You will thank me later.
I've been working at that. I've been getting up earlier. Like today, I actually got up around 7. I'm gonna have to. My goal is 6 a.m. so I can do the gym in the morning because I don't like going at night 'cause it's too packed.
Mhm.
Baby steps right now. We're doing 7, but it's definitely
Slowly but surely,
def-
you'll get there.
it's getting to that point though. But I feel like this kind of leads into the next question pretty well because I already know. I guess one of these. But do you have any? I guess in coffee, outside of coffee, this could be keyboards. This could be anything. Do you have any pipe dreams? I feel like the one it sounds like, and I shouldn't even call it a pipe dream. It sounds very realistic to you right now. It's something you're already working towards, but opening up the coffee shop. But is there anything else that I don't know, any goals you have, any overarching goals?
To be honest, this is just a character thing. I go with the flow. Um, I don't like planning things out to a T. Life is organic. Life is not planned. Your life should not be held to that standard. So, if you ask me what my year plan is, I have no fucking clue. I don't have a life goal. My, if anything, my only life goal right now at this point is to start a coffee shop and work. Just, I just want to make dank shots of espresso and share the love of coffee with people. That's literally it. Like, that's my goal. But yeah, like, that's a pipe dream. One of my pipe dreams. But yeah, I just want my pick a fence house and like, um, my front yard, get into gardening, have 2 dogs, have a few kids with my future wife.
This sounds semi. This
Shit like
sounds
that.
semi specific for someone who's just going with the flow.
I mean, it's like an idea, right? Because
I hear you.
I have a grocery store mentality. I see what I like and I'll put it in my cart. I see what I like, I'll put it in my cart. So it's a conglomeration, it's a combination of a lot of things that I've seen over the years, and it's just something that I would like. I don't know how to get there, but hopefully the decisions that I make in the now lead to that. But yeah, like the coffee shop thing, it's a very tangible goal. I've actually had a few angel investors show interest and actually start investing. Things always happened, so they had to pull out. But um, we came up with a business plan. We had an executive summary. We have a lot of the equipment purchased already to start the shop up. We just need capital. We just need a location. We need to do our demographic research. We need to do this. We need to do that. Um, yeah, get all the small wares, and then get the shop going.
That's good though.
But yeah, that's
It is good though. Like it sounds like you're already making like good like headway towards that. Like that alone is. I feel like you don't like definitely don't discredit yourself for that. Like that like those steps alone are incredible. The fact that you already had an angel investor, like people interested in it, shows that there's steps being made and at least there's trust in your hands, yours and your girlfriend's hands.
those angel investors came about by working in a coffee shop because
Makes
I
sense.
I made coffee for them for a number of years, and they're like, "Hey, like your coffee's really good. I can't find it anywhere else. No one else can make it like you. Even I'm even picky about which baristas I get my coffee from at this point. Like, what the fuck are you doing to coffee? Like, are you putting Coke in it?" And I just go, "No, like I just know a lot about coffee, and I kind of want to start a shop later on down the line. They're like, okay, when? And that's when it gets serious, and that's when I start getting chills. It's like, oh shit,
they believe in me.
What's happening? What's happening now? Oh shit. So yeah, it's that.
See, that's got to be really exciting, though.
But yeah, thank you for the compliment.
No, of course. Coke coffee when? It's bold, Mr. Mendax. It's bold. It's a bold move. Do you have any idea? Because I feel like a lot of people, like at least in that, like I feel like you something tells me, I'm pretty sure you might, but do you have any intent on like ever like maybe like starting like your own roastery? Is that something you've ever been interested in, like starting your own brand, like outside of just obviously your cafe?
Yeah. So this is kind of interesting, but like for every activity that involves changing the flavor or developing the coffee, there's always a different skill set that you need and different knowledge that you would need to understand in order to execute it correctly. So roasting is a whole other thing that I know barely anything about. I scratched the surface. That's it. My girlfriend, however, knows a lot about roasting. We got to the point where we have our own roaster. It's like a small one that we can make 1 pound batches of coffee at home.
Is that more for like personal use, like those size products, or?
It definitely is. I feel like if you were to run that at a commercial setting, it would not fly. It would not operate for longer than 6 months because it would just
It's
break
too
down.
much wear and tear.
It's a consumer grade roaster.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we both put down a total of like $1.5 grand, and we bought this roaster. And she's firing away. She's learning all about how to roast coffee, and um, I'm just the guy who knows a lot about how to make the coffee. She knows how to. So my girlfriend's amazing actually. Like she's certified to conduct traditional Japanese tea ceremonies. She got trained by a dude in Japan called Maeda, and she can lead matcha ceremonies, tea ceremonies, Chinese tea ceremonies. Like it's kind of crazy, but her understanding about coffee is not too far off from mine. I just know a little bit deeper, but I have no knowledge about tea whatsoever. Tea is a whole other thing. And then she just wants to expand her knowledge on everything. So she wants to get into roasting, and she's been doing it for the last 2 years on this little, home roaster. And we're trying to see what we can make of it. I'm giving her pointers like, hey, like this tastes like this. Can we change that in the roasting process? What can we do to make this better? So we're always, talking with each other and seeing how we can improve that roasting so that we can eventually get to the point where we're a self-sustaining coffee shop. We roast our own coffee. We import directly from farmers. We have relationships with them, et cetera, et cetera.
This is really exciting. I can't wait. I can't wait to come visit this. I can't wait for this all to come together. This sounds incredible.
So actually, this wrist rest, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen this on my stream, but on the corner, it's our logo.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's like a little cat, right? The whole shop's name that we have in mind is Neko Neko. And so spelled out, or like it's a dual translation, right? So it's 2 languages. The first one is Neko in Korean, right? So Naeko if it's romanized, and then Neko in Japanese, Neko. And the first one, it means mine in Korean. It's like, oh, igo dekoya, this is mine. And then in Japanese, obviously means cat. So the cat, the shop's name is My Cat. I don't know why. She has an affinity towards cats.
I like it though. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Venom, and thank you, Alres, of course. I really appreciate it, guys. It's very kind of you. But that is, I personally am a big fan of that name. I'd love a little T-shirt, a little pocket tee, with a little cat.
We're coming out with merch, so you'll be one of the few people to get him.
Don't tease me like that. Don't get me excited. I feel like with the way that logo was, you gotta talk with Kimchi and get some JoJo poses. I feel like there's a lot of potential for that cat. I feel like you have a lot of potential there. I say this solely because I started watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure aggressively this week, and I've pretty much been texting Kimchi about it all week. But I love the logo, and I feel like it's gonna be fun. Like even like obviously like coffee. I'm sure coffee related merch clothes, but it'd be fun to like offer like a wrist dress. Like I guess like in homage, like little artisan keycaps, little metal
Yeah,
engraved
yeah,
keycaps. I feel like that'd be really fun too.
yeah.
Um,
Actually, yeah, my girlfriend got into making keycaps too. She made this one, and I think you'll be a big fan of this.
Wait, that's I saw that. I actually meant to ask you. Wait, that's so cute.
Yeah, my girlfriend made this. She
Oh my
wanted to get
god, I
into resin
love them.
casting. So it's just, the sprites from Howl's Moving Castle. Or not Howl's, sorry. Oh my god, Spirited Away.
You're
Please
good.
don't kill
It's
me.
Spirited Away and Totoro. I say that, and they're probably in more honestly. Dude, why did I get you on here? I should have gotten your girlfriend on here. It seems like she's the interest. I'm
She's
just kidding. I'm
she's a
completely
very
kidding.
interesting person. And
Completely
like
kidding.
I speak very highly of her away from her because like I don't know. I feel like she has a lot to offer, and I've seen it a lot, and there's no point in telling her constantly, like, "Oh my gosh, you're so amazing! You're so amazing! You pick up whatever you want and you like perfect it." But yeah, my girlfriend, she's amazing.
You're allowed to show. You're allowed to show your girlfriend on here. It's sweet. We appreciate that. Um,
Yeah,
no, that's incredible. I'm really excited. First, I'm excited to hear that. I love the name. I love everything going on about it. Very very excited for you. Like
thank
I
you.
said, from someone who knows like a molecule compared to what you do about coffee, I find it fascinating, and I'm definitely gonna be doing more research on coffee as that goes because it's it's insane how deep like some of these like coffee. Like I feel like the same thing with keyboards. Like at a base level, when talking to somebody, it'll come off as like oh. It's a keyboard. It's a cup of coffee. Like you don't think too much about it. You can go to the store and buy it. You can go to Starbucks and buy a cup of coffee. And then you really get into the shit of it and realize how deep each of these rabbit holes go. Because
Oh yeah,
I knew coffee was deep, but like the way you were like breaking down like how the earth's nutrients alone can affect the flavor is mind blowing to me.
yeah, yeah. That's a thing.
However, I will be in LA in October. We're
Yeah,
all gonna
I'll,
go.
I'll definitely take you coffee crawling. I
I've
want
got
to take you to a few shops.
I've got I've got Nathan Kimchi and Frank taking me on a food tour. You can take me on a coffee tour. This is gonna be a good time.
And then we'll get Ed to take you on a beer tour.
I'm in for all of this. This is gonna be a good week. It's just gonna be every day. Um, but I did sort of ask this, but maybe in the I guess like a little bit outside of the coffee, maybe more towards keyboards. What is something that you would like to do project wise? Like, do you have any interest in ever getting into the design world at all? Do you have any interest just in like I guess like any other endeavors outside of just keyboard streaming?
I just want to touch as many rectangles as possible.
I feel that on such a deep level.
No, on an honest level, this was a hobby, like, and it still is. I don't really have a goal because I'm going with the flow. Getting this far was, a feat in itself, and I'm still kind of taking things in, um, and figuring shit out. But yeah, I guess there really is no end goal for me. It's like trying to find the perfect keyword, right? You'll never find it because there's no end game. Same with keyboards for me, like in terms of like the grand scheme of things, like there's no end to it. Like I just want to keep building keyboards because it's something I truly enjoy.
No,
Yeah.
I feel like I get people asking me like since this whole thing started, and then like with TikTok happening, I'd have family and friends being like, "So like, what's up with keyboards? Like, you can do this full time?" And I'm like, "This is a hobby that got like way out of hand, and I still stand by that. It's a hobby.
Yes.
I've never had intent. I still have never had intent to ever like do anything full time with this or try to make like a career out of it. It's just something that I feel like has kept me, and I'm sure you and God knows how many other streamers sane throughout this past absolute hellhole of a year." Um,
100%. I agree with you.
and it's crazy, but I definitely get it. I wish I
Yeah.
could get this
And
enthusiastic about my education.
like that's the biggest thing, right? Like the more you treat it like a hobby, the more fun it is for you. And the more fun it is for you, the more your viewers will enjoy what you have to put out. And therefore leading to a cyclical growth of just
Giuseppe
yourself as
Strongbow,
a
you put your
personality,
fucking
as a
name in the
streamer.
gabagool of fine.
And, I feel like content creation in itself should never be pursued wholeheartedly unless if you're one, really ballsy, or two, I don't know, like you're financially stable. Three, I don't know. It's not a realm where I find myself being in ever,
I,
because it's a scary world, content creation. Like your income is never guaranteed. Your content is you will make as much money as you will as popular as your like hobby is, right? And so I don't know, like it's a scary thought to go into content creation full time for me. I don't know
I
if you've had
definitely,
those thoughts.
I feel like as someone who's been making content for most of his life, I have this on a regular basis, and I don't think it's something. At least so far in my life, it hasn't been manageable. It's tough. It's one of those, and I feel like this goes for art in most cases. I'm lucky enough to where what I want to do for a living, I am just not. I have to have a boss typically. I need to like do what I do, like video work for companies instead of just making my own content, which is the dream. I feel like for a lot of people, and I feel like art in general kind of goes like hand in hand with that. I feel like I talked about this with Ben last week, but a lot of it is it's sort of like you need to find, and this I feel like this goes a lot with content like content creation, art, anything like that. Until you're ready, you need to like find a way to sustain yourself. I feel like that's just the smart way of doing it instead of going head first in, unless you are one really confident and two, excuse me, to be totally honest, you need a hell of a lot of luck. Like you could be Martin Scorsese on YouTube and still not get views because you gotta get lucky with that algorithm. You gotta get the right eyes on your stuff, and you gotta get
Mhm.
someone that knows what they're doing to share. It's a lot of it is luck because skill is great, but to get to the masses, it's not as easy as, unfortunately, I shouldn't say not as easy, but just being really good sometimes just doesn't cut it, which is a
Yeah,
shame.
yeah, exactly. And like that's the freaky part, right? It's like that's what's so exhausting about it. It's like you never know what's going to happen if you don't do it. So
Yep.
like you're drawn to making content, you're drawn to streaming, you're drawn to whatever it is, creating art, right? But it's in the hopes to get noticed, but you'll you'll more often than not get noticed. And that's the terrifying part.
But that's what I feel like, and it's a double edged sword. 'Cause I feel like that's kind of what separates the people who really love it and are really only in it to try it for like for fame. Because if you do it for numbers, you're gonna crumble before you even get started.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Never go into it thinking you're going to make it big, ever.
never go, never go in thinking you're gonna succeed. You just be surprised. Just be surprised as it goes. That's terrible. I feel like that's terrible advice, but I think you can pick up what I'm putting down. Um, Also, just speaking of reaching goals and everything, can we get a? It's been a little bit now, but can we get a big congratulations to Mr. TimKeyLess hitting partner semi recently? How long ago was it? Was it a month ago? Was it 2 months? Regardless, big congratulations to Mr. TimKeyLess for hitting Twitch partner, a major milestone, especially in this specific like Twitch sphere, this hobby where there's not too many there's really no big names. Everyone's kind of doing their thing. So big congrats, sir. Major
Big thank you to you.
major pog.
No,
Major
I'm leaving.
pog. Big
I'm
pogs in the
I'm
chat.
leaving. Oh my gosh.
um
Speaking of partner, I'm having a subathon on June 15th. I'm just gonna plug that in there real quick.
oh, I was gonna say, while I was gonna tell Mr. Tim Keyless, actually, timing's fantastic. While before he plugs, if anyone has any questions, any last questions for him, because we're definitely reaching the back end of this stream. But if anyone has any questions for Tim, feel free to ask away. But Tim, please plug away, sir.
Subathon will be on June 15th. I released the sub milestone prizes. There are a lot of prizes, like 40 plus prizes. Um, I have the milestones set at 50 sub increments, and each milestone doesn't mean one prize. Sometimes it'll mean five prizes for five different people. Sometimes it'll mean three prizes for three different people. It's whatever those milestones are, there's always a chance to win something, and there's a lot of prizes to be given away. At 1,000 subs, big leak. I'm dressing up as Tina Keyless,
I was better.
and I
I
will
was
be building I'll be building a keyboard in a hot tub as TimKeyLess in a swimsuit with a wig, everything. Just I went full. I went all out on this.
This Auras did wanted me to ask, who is TimKeyLess?
TimKeyLess is my sister.
Is that so? Is that so? You have a sister? Is this new? Is this new?
Yeah. She was my sister. She became my sister 2 months ago.
Congratulations on finding your sibling.
Thank you. Yeah, it was quite a journey. I'm so glad I found her.
Oh, where are you just gonna blow? Do you have like an inflatable? Where are you gonna fit a hot tub in that bedroom?
It'll be right where I'm sitting actually. So the hot tub itself is like 4 feet in diameter. So hopefully it fits. I bought some ball pit plastic balls. And yeah, I just need a table to build a keyboard on. I'm not gonna say which keyboard it is, but let me just say, it's a very special one that a lot of people like, and a lot of people want.
That's crazy.
No. You have to say, "Damn, that's crazy." You have to get the voice crack in there too.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Is it a Belle Delphine climb board?
No, it's not a Belle Delphine climb board.
Can I get the backstory to Dan? That's crazy, or is this just?
I mean, okay, no, it's just something stupid. But like, whenever Alres hears something that's kind of crazy, he goes, "Damn, that's crazy," and it sounds almost like condescending. But it's also like you can't call him condescending because what you said is crazy, but then also his tone is not reflecting that. So it's just supposed to be really, I don't know.
Damn, man,
I laugh my
that's
ass
crazy. See, I forced it there. I gotta work on it. Your voice only cracks when you want it to, when you don't want it to. That's the problem.
Exactly.
But will the stream in Makers be in Makers and Crafting, or will it be in pools, hot tubs, and beaches?
It'll be in pools, hot tubs, and beaches, obviously. I will be the only keyboard streamer in that category.
Unless I have something to say about it.
Oh, well, I really
kidding.
hope you do.
Well, it's fun. Like I joke in my stream a lot about doing like a hot tub keyboard stream because I definitely don't have room in my place for it. And God forbid my landlord would evict me in a heartbeat if something went wrong, which, knowing my luck and how my streams go, I would flood my apartment without question. My apartment would get flooded. But I always joke about I wanted to do a build in Central Park, and I'm still like trying to figure out the logistics of how I could even like pull that off.
You should talk to Rolly.
I was just gonna say, didn't he do one in front of the Eiffel Tower?
Exactly.
Which is insane.
He pulled up a GMMK Pro and fucking built one in front of the Eiffel Tower. That was
like
I going places, man.
I genuinely like might do something. Like I've really been thinking about something like that. I feel like the solder build would be funny because you don't have to have any like fans going, no airflow. It's just like, damn, how do I rent and bring a generator into Central Park without being anything? Just getting in trouble. Maybe I have to plan something. Maybe I'll talk to Lightning because Central Park's like in between for me and Lightning. Maybe I gotta track him down.
Do you have what soldering iron do you have?
The Hako, but I was thinking about getting the TS100. So you could do the USB plug. That's true.
Exactly.
Ooh, you might be onto something.
And just stream it from your phone, dude. And then
Ooh.
you just won't have the scene changing capability.
Nah, it'll be
scene is already set because you're already in a beautiful place.
Ooh, Central Park build stream maybe coming soon. Maybe this is the thing. Like I'm coming to LA. Maybe I get you guys to come to New York and then we can do a group build stream in Central Park. We can get crazy with it.
I'm fucking down.
This could be a big move. This has potential.
Down.
I'll go paint at Niagara Falls. Get all misty. Very nice, Mr. AutoWorks. But yeah, do we have any more questions for Mr. TimKeyLess? Well, if you guys want to throw any more out there, this is the last question I typically ask my guests. And when I say typically, I mean the last two because it's the third episode. What is something, if you could go back in time, what's a piece of advice you would give to your younger self?
Make the same mistakes that you did, that I did. Yeah, yeah. My whole thought process is you should never regret what happened. You are who you are today because of the shit that happened. So be proud.
I like that. I think it's a good way. I think it's a good way of putting it. Especially, it seems like you're happy where you're at. I'm definitely happy where I'm at. And we probably wouldn't be here if anything got changed in the background. So
Yeah.
might as well keep things where they were. Timmy about to make me cry. Me too, Mr. Samurai. Me too.
How
How
many
many?
gifted subs to lick my keyboard, Tim? Only if it has your face on it. I'll do it for free. Ship it to me.
That's a pretty. Did you see the keyboard that Taya built today? They had all the K-pop stars, the cards. It was like 4 frames on the top. This board weighed like 9 pounds.
Is that like Perry's? No, I
It was
forget
the
whose board it is.
KDD. I honestly can't remember what it was called. I watched the back end of it. I'm like, this is an insane build. See,
I think Tony built that on stream one time.
he might wait. I actually think you're right. I remember this.
Yeah.
KHDD. Yep, it's Perry's. I would love if they.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. If there ever was a group buy for that board, I would get it for the sole fact that I would like put my like a certain like the top subs. Their pictures are in like top 4 subs of all time would get their
Wait,
photos
you're
in it.
saying you're saying that you would not put JoJo playing cards in there?
Listen. Do you know where to get JoJo playing cards? What do you know that I don't?
I personally don't, but I
Kimchi
know
would,
people who do.
but Kimchi
Kimchi,
would.
Gym
No.
Leader knows.
True.
Alex Todos knows. I'm just saying, man. There's
I-
the sky's the limit.
So I'm like new to the. I've been having Ben Yura and the wonderful Liz Kits give me my rundown on. They're slowly but surely getting me into K-pop. So maybe I do get stick with maybe I do stick with the cards. This could be big. I do
Yeah.
Alres. This is a lot of good info. This is good to know. But I think we've pretty much hit our mark for today. I think this was really fun. I definitely learned a lot, Mr. TimKeyLess. This was fun. I had a really good time.
Feel free to hit me up about coffee things, Noli. I got you.
Oh, honey, you
Tell
know
me
I
we'll
will.
talk your
I
ear
don't even
off.
need to hit you up. You're just gonna give me the rundown when I'm there. It's gonna be perfect.
I'll give you the skinny on everything.
That's all
It's,
I need to.
The TLDR. I'll
The
give you my
TL.
skinny on things. What?
I won't ask it. Listen. I won't ask any questions. I don't like spoilers. Just listen. Find me the best cup of cold brew I'll ever have, because that's my favorite way of drinking coffee is cold brew. Find me the best cold
Really?
brew. Find me the best cold brew pot in LA. And I'll give you a
Okay,
smooch.
hold on.
I'll give you a smooch.
Quick tip: if you make cold brew by yourself, just know that you want to brew it in the fridge. Drop the
Mhm.
temperature as low as possible.
So I heard that. So I usually I do brew cold. We just have like the glass container with the mesh. So you do okay. This is a good thing to end on. I'm gonna learn something here. So don't brew it in room temp. I was brewing in the fridge, and then I read that you do it room temperature because it like steeps better. Do the
No.
fridge.
So do the fridge for a longer period of time. So if you're gonna cold brew in the fridge, do it for 24 hours. The lower the temperature, this is just common knowledge, okay? The lower the temperature that you brew at, the less acidity you draw out from the coffee. So if you do room temperature, even room temperature is enough to draw out some acidity. The fridge will fix all of that.
Interesting. I'm learning so much. This is the best. I'm glad I brought this up. This is the best information you've given me. I'm going to use this on my daily basis because that's how I usually drink my daily coffee at this point.
There you go.
But Tim, is there any last plugs you wanna? June 15th, correct? This Saturday.
June. Yep. No, it's a Tuesday, but everyone's on summer break.
That's fair.
It's a weird time, but
That'll keep me occupied. I'm less busy on Tuesday nights than Saturday nights, so I'm in.
then I better fucking see your name there, bro.
I got you, baby. Mwah.
No, I ain't got nothing else to plug. Everyone go follow Manoli Visuals because he's the man with the calves, the man with the plan. Don't follow
listen
me.
to this guy. Don't listen to this guy. Follow TimKeyLess. Don't follow me. You don't want my follow. You don't want to follow me. Don't waste your numbers. Your precious ratio. Don't waste it on me.
I swear to God, if you follow me, I will spill. Actually, no, never mind. People are gonna follow me to see me spill coffee on the keyboard.
I
Just
didn't
don't
bring it.
follow me.
I didn't explicitly bring it up because I feel like it's been brought up enough at this point. So
Yeah, I mean
if
that's
you
my
know,
take
you
at
know,
this
and that's
point.
where I'm gonna leave it on. If you're curious,
Yeah.
you just do some digging. I'm sure you'll figure it out soon enough. Oh, I love you, Tim. Thank you for coming on,
This
man. I
works
really do.
out.
I really do appreciate it, brother. Seriously, it means a lot.
Thanks, man. Thank you for having me, man. This was a lot of fun, actually. Like,
No, I had a
not that I
blast, man.
expected it to be not fun, but
No, you
this is
can
the
tell.
most fun I've had in a very long time.
You can say you didn't expect to have fun. I don't understand. You don't have to lie to me.
Yeah, bro, but I thought everything you did was fun.
Oh, there's your first problem, believing lies.
But yeah,
All right.
no, honestly, thank you for having me on. I enjoyed myself.
No, of course, brother. Guys, thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, I'm doing this every Tuesday between 6 and 10 p.m. Eastern typically. It depends on the guest schedule because we work around our guests here. I'm going to be streaming again tomorrow at 3 p.m. building a KVD 75V2 with glorious pandas on a brass plate. Mwah. And yeah, if you're interested in further updates, you can follow me on social if you do command socials, and obviously follow me on Discord for all my stream updates. Not sure who next week's guest is. We're really going week by week on this one, figuring it out slowly but surely.
Flow.
But seriously, thank you all for being here. I really, really appreciate it. Alex, if you're still here, thank you for the raid to start us off. That was a great start to this stream without even starting. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and raid our good friend Mr. Kiwi Kang, the only person with VIP in my Twitch chat because he got me that obscene desk map. But yeah, thank you all so much. I will see you all tomorrow. Go show Kiwi some love. Drop him a follow. Give him a kiss from me. Mwah. As always, cheers, my friends. Thank you again, Tim. Go show Kiwi some love, guys. Bye. Thank you, Timothy.
Thank you, Manoli.
Dude, that was fun.
Manoli.
Here, wait. I
Yeah,
can switch
dude.
to this now.